What does it mean to be rooted? I think that's one of those phrases that people use all the time now, but most of us don't even really stop and think about what it really means. We hear people say that they want to be grounded, centered, aligned, connected, all of those pretty words that sound good on a candle, but when you really sit with it, being rooted is a lot deeper than just feeling calm for 5 minutes after drinking a cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, I love my tea, and I'm not here to slander it in any way. Tea has been carrying many women through many foolish situations for generations. But being rooted is not just a cozy moment. It's not whether you have a garden, wear linen, or can identify herbs on the side of the road like some sort of woodland detective. Being rooted is deeper than that. It's about knowing what holds you. It's about knowing where you return to when life gets loud. It's that anchor inside that keeps you from being blown all over the place by every opinion, every crisis, every trend, mood, or even every person that walks into the room like they're your personal weather. When you are rooted, everything does not get moved around. It does not mean that you are hard or cold or spiritually evolved and nothing bothers you. That's not rooted. That's either denial, exhaustion, or you've read one too many of those protect your peace quotes. And I think a lot of people are walking around unrooted and don't even realize it. Not because they are bad, broken, or weak, but because most of us were raised in a world that teaches us how to perform, how to produce, how to keep moving, how to look like we are just fine all the time. It does not teach us how to listen to our body, how to understand our family story, to be in relationship with the land around us, or how to belong to ourselves. And we really need to master that one. We are taught to always be busy, to be busy when we are tired, when we are grieving, when we are sick. We are so busy that our spirit is over here waving a white flag. Ma'am, can we please just do nothing for 10 minutes? And we just keep going on because we have been taught that stopping means falling behind. But falling behind what? Sometimes I think being rooted starts when you finally stop long enough to ask, who told me that I have to live like this? Because a lot of us, what we call normal is not natural. Being rooted asks us to come back, not go backwards. That distinction is important. It's about going deeper, deeper into yourself. It is asking what nourishes me, what steadies me, what do I know to be true even when life gets messy? What did my people carry that I need to understand? What did they survive that still lives in me? What gifts did they pass down? What pain never got named? What pattern am I repeating because nobody ever showed me another way? That is where people get stuck sometimes. And we also need to ask, what beauty is still mine? And sometimes being rooted is learning to sort through all of those and say, this part I would carry. This part I'm going to heal. This part ends with me. This part I'm bringing back. That is rooted. It is not pretending your family was perfect or your childhood did not shape you. It's not pretending that the land you come from does not matter or that the body keeps no record of what's happened. Look at nature. Nothing healthy grows without some kind of root system. A tree does not apologize for needing soil. A plant does not shame itself because it needs water. Rosemary itself does not sit there having an identity crisis because it needs sunlight. It just knows what it needs to thrive. Humans are the ones that are acting like needing connection makes us weak. And I think that has hurt us. Because when people are unrooted, they become easier to influence. They are easier to frighten, to shame, to sell to. Unrooted people are easier to convince that they are not enough. When you do not have that strong sense of who you are, the world will happily hand you a persona to fit into. It'll tell you what you want, what to buy, what to fear, how to look, what to chase, who to blame, and when to panic. And if you have no roots, every one of those messages feel like it might be true. But rooted people are harder to manipulate because rooted people have center. They can pause. They can ask, does this align with what I know to be true? Then they can ask, is this actually mine or did I pick it up somewhere? And am I reaching from fear or responding from wisdom? That's a powerful thing. And no, it does not happen overnight. You don't wake up one day, light a candle, drink some herbal tea, and suddenly you become this deeply rooted woman who is never getting annoyed in traffic. That woman doesn't exist. Rootedness is a practice. It is built slowly. It is built in the choices nobody claps for. It is built when you decide to listen to your body instead of bullying it. Being rooted is not about feeling better. It's about living differently, not being so easily pulled away from yourself. It's about knowing that you are allowed to belong to your own life. I know that sounds simple, but so many still don't understand. A lot of people belong to their obligations, their stress, family expectations, and survival mode. They belong to the version of themselves that everyone else finds convenient. But being rooted asks, what would it look like to belong to yourself again? What would it look like to wake up and not immediately hand your mind over to the world? What would it look like to stop chasing every new thing and start returning to what is true to you? Because the truth is, rooted people are not rooted because life has been easy. They are rooted because somewhere along the way, they've learned what holds what matters. They've learned how to return. And maybe that is the invitation to you today, to return. Return to the old stories, to the body, to the earth, to the kitchen table, to the garden, to the quiet within. Return to the part of ourselves we left behind while trying to become acceptable. And maybe for you, being rooted, it starts small. Maybe it starts with sitting outside in the morning before the world gets its claws in you. Maybe it starts with asking your grandmother a question. Maybe it starts with learning the names of the plants growing along the fence line. It could start with cooking something your people used to make. Maybe it starts with turning off the noise and letting yourself feel what you have been outrunning. Look around your home and ask, does this place support the person I'm becoming? Maybe it starts with admitting that you are tired of being disconnected. There is no one perfect way to begin. This is not about doing it right. It's about coming back into a relationship with being. So when I'm talking about being rooted, I'm not talking about a trend. I am talking about a way of life, a way of remembering, a way of healing, a way of standing your own life and saying, I know who I am becoming. I know where I am no longer willing to abandon. And I hope this answer starts with yourself. let's continue this conversation in the comment section. And until next time, peace.